What if every new visitor on your website could automatically become a customer without you lifting a finger? That's exactly what Omnisend does. It turns your website into an automated marketing machine, capturing leads, sending personalized emails, and recovering abandoned checkouts while you sleep. In this video, I will show you how you can build your entire email marketing system step by step using Omnisend. I will show you how you can set up your Omnisend account and connect it to your website or e-commerce store. In particular, we will use WordPress and WooCommerce as an example. I'll show you how you can create pop-ups and sign-up forms and embed them directly into your website. I'll show you how you can integrate Elementor forms with Omnisend. And in the video, I'm also going to show you how you can build automations. Like for example, setting up a welcome series of emails when someone signs up to your forms, or sending out an automation for abandoned checkouts to increase the chance that the customer will come back and finalize the purchase. Whether you're just starting with email marketing or looking to automate your entire funnel, this tutorial will give you a fully functional Omnisend email marketing system ready to capture leads and send perfectly timed emails on autopilot. Ready to get started? 3, 2, 1, let's go! Now you can head to my affiliate link in the description below, wproads.com/omnisend, and you will land on this page. Now let's get started with Omnisend, boost sales with intuitive email and SMS marketing tool. You can start for free up to 250 contacts if you just want to test it out, and you can upgrade at any time after signing up. You will be able to use also my special discount code, WP Roadies, and I will show you in the next steps how you can use it to have a 30% off without having to pay 3 months upfront. In fact, if you scroll down, you will see that in order to have the 30% discount, you have to pay 3 months upfront if you want to apply this. If you do not do that, the price will be full. But in the next steps, I will show you how you can apply my special coupon to have the 30% discount even if you just pay monthly. Now we're ready to click on Sign Up Now and create our free account. You can choose to sign up with Shopify, with Google, or in my case, I will use just simple email. If you're creating and managing an e-commerce, here you have to choose e-commerce. If you just have a simple website and you do not plan to have an e-commerce, you can choose non-e-commerce. Don't worry, because you can also change all the settings later on in the backend. Now let's agree to the terms of use, privacy policy, and anti-spam. And if you want, you can also receive Omnisend's marketing newsletter about products updates and best e-commerce practices. Now we're ready to sign up. All right, we can save our data here. And we have now received an email with a confirmation link that we can open to activate our account. Here's the email. I click on verify my email address. And now I have 2 more steps to complete my account registration. First name, last name, business website. Then I click on continue and I can insert here my business address. All right, once you finish here, you can click on continue to Omnisend and setting up your account. You're all set. Before you continue, we'd love you to share how did you hear about us. In your case, you can click on YouTube and you can type here WP Roadies or Pascal Claro if you want. Thank you. And then you click on continue to Omnisend. All right, as you can see here, you can connect your store or your site, and here we can upgrade with 30% off. So this is the beautiful Omnisend dashboard. It's pretty intuitive and easy to use. You can see that in the top left side, you have your brand ID, and you can connect your store or your website, and you have all the data about your plan. In our case, we are starting up with a free plan. We have 500 free emails left per month, and then we have $1 of free SMS left. We can also collect up to 250 contacts. And if you decide that you like Omnisend and you want to upgrade, let me show you why you should do it immediately. Because if you switch to the standard plan now from the free one, you can reach up to 500 contacts per month. You will have 18,000 emails for 3 months. And you can have also a free credit in SMS. Not only that, you will be able to remove Omnisend logo and you will have access to the live chat support 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. This is great if you want to start sending email automations, for example, to welcome new subscribers and leads, as we will see in the next steps, or if you want also to send abandoned cart and checkout emails to your customers in WooCommerce. So if you plan to set up all this, this is the best plan, because you can set up all your automations and don't worry about the free plan limitations. If you want to avoid to pay 3 months upfront, you can uncheck the chat box here and just use my WP Roadies discount code to the bottom left side. WP Roadies. And then you click redeem code. Look, Now you still have 30% off, but you're not forced to pay 3 months upfront. You can choose this plan or this one, and then you can go on. You will be able here to see all the plan details, and you can click continue to billing information. You set up all your billing address here. If you are from Europe and you have a VAT number, you can also insert it here. And when you finish filling your billing address information, you can click on save. Now we will be able to add a credit card or pay with Google Pay. All right, I'll add my card. I'll just need to verify my purchase. And that's it. I can continue now. I can confirm and pay. That was easy, right? Congrats on upgrading to the standard plan. Awesome, let's click on continue. So here now I can manage my plan. And as you can see here, I can send up to 6,000 emails per month. And in my case, I can also collect up to 500 contacts. And if you scroll down here, you see that we have also some SMS credit. We can also upgrade to get some more SMS credit if we want, or we can also get a monthly SMS subscription separately if we prefer. A very interesting add-on is this one, which is called personalized content. This costs very little. If you click on get add-on, you will see that it is just, in this case, $3.50 per month for up to 2,000 contacts. And this is great because you can use this add-on to make every email unique for every shopper. Basically, this service will show into your emails the recently viewed products from the user, and this can increase dramatically the conversion rate, of course. And keep in mind that this add-on will be included for free if you decide to upgrade later to the Pro plan. And this is a must-have if you run a WooCommerce store or a Shopify store. If you want, you can also cancel or freeze your plan if you need to do so. You will also receive a notification via email. Thanks for being with Omnisend. Here is your invoice for the payment made on Friday. All right, so I can also quickly see my invoice from here. Great. Now let's go back to our dashboard. We see that we have a goals section that we can use to monitor everything we are doing into our account. And we see that we have an overview of all our subscribers. And yes, if you have a store, you can keep a bird's eye view here of all the orders and revenue, and also keep an eye on how many of these orders are coming from campaigns and automations or are coming from outside Omnisend. Then if you just have a simple website, you can scroll down and you see that you have the audience growth that you can monitor to see how many email subscribers you have, how many SMS subscribers, and how many push notification subscriber you have on your list. Then we also have the live view, and basically here you can view your contact activity as it happens on your website. This is very cool, and in order to do that, you should connect your store, of course. Then we have our campaigns, automation, forms, audience, reports, and store settings. And then here to the upper right side, you can easily access your stores because you can connect more than one store if you need to do so, your billing info, history, users, and so on. Now let's connect Omnisend to our website. I head to my website and I log in. In my case, I'm using a WordPress website. I go to plugins, add plugin, and I type inside here Omnisend. You will see that there are many plugins, and the first two plugins are the one that we need. This one is perfect if you're using WooCommerce, so if you have a store, just install this one, or you can just skip to the part of this video where I'm going to show you how you can connect your Omnisend account if you're running a WooCommerce store. In our case, we will start just by seeing how you can integrate Omnisend in the website without integrating it with WooCommerce. So if you have a simple website or a landing page or a blog, you just need to install this one. Newsletter, email marketing, SMS, and pop-ups by Omnisend. Let's go and install this, and let's go and activate. All right, let's go and see. Newsletter, email marketing, and so on. Perfect. If you want, you can enable auto updates. Then we have here the item, which is Omnisend email marketing with this number 1. And when we open up here, we see that we can connect to Omnisend. Great, let's do it. All right, so we should go to Omnisend. We should go to API keys, and then we need to paste inside here our API key. Let's go to API keys. All right, we can see that our account is already opened and we are logged in, and we can connect our WordPress store, even if in our case it's just a simple website or blog. We can install the plugin and we can paste this API key into Omnisend plugin. Great, let's copy it. Remember that if you need to reuse it again later, you should also save it somewhere else because you won't be able to see it again in the next time. So you just need to copy it and save it somewhere secure for you. Now I'm going to paste it here into the plugin. And I'm going to click on Connect Omnisend. That was easy, right? You are connected to Omnisend. Now, if we want, we can start by integrating our first pop-up. We're going to see this, then we're going to see how to integrate an embedded form like this one, and then we're going to see how you can integrate Omnisend with the Elementor Pro form. We go to Omnisend, we can click here on the X icon, all right, and we can see that we are now connected with our website using just a simple WordPress plugin. If you have connected with your store with WooCommerce, you will see here the WooCommerce logo, and now we can go to Forms. Into the form settings, we can click on Preview and Launch Form, but in this case, I will click on View Other Form Types, because in this way we can choose exactly what type of form we want to integrate into our website. You can filter here by goal, theme, type, and so on. And you can easily scroll down here and see all the different forms that are available for you. Let's pick one and configure it. In my case, I like this one, and I will go and use this template. I can easily go and click on the elements here to change them, or I can go to the theme settings if I want to change the layout, the form styles, buttons, fields, and the close button. Here in the behavior, I can choose also what happens, how and to who I want to show this form on my website. Let's start with the theme settings. I can change the display type here from pop-up to flyout to landing page to embed. In my case, I will keep it on pop-up. I will replace my image, and now we'll change the colors. I have changed a few other settings, and now if I want, I can go back here. And basically, if you want to change anything regarding the theme and aspects of this pop-up, you can go in the theme settings. Then if you want to change the content, you just click on the content and you update it. In my case, I select the phone field and I want to make it not required. I select the email field and I want to make sure that this one is required. And we also have here our confirmation box that we can use to collect SMS consent. If you need to collect other consent, you can use the legal consent widget here, and you can place it wherever you want, and you can choose the type of consent that you want to collect. Here you can easily link to your privacy policy, you can change the required message, and you can change the link color and other settings. And of course, if you want, you can also add or remove any of the items that you see here by simply clicking on them and clicking on the delete block. Or if you need to add some more fields, you just go here on the items and you just drag and drop them into the box, into the form. For example, if you need another image, or if you need a wheel of fortune, whatever you need here, you can go and place it inside your pop-up. So this is going to be the first step. Then we're going to have the success step. Here also you can change the images or the title or whatever you want. Then you also have the subscribe step that is going to be shown to people that are already subscribed and that are trying to subscribe again. So here you can place whatever you want. You are already subscribed. Yes, we know this form is so well crafted that you want to subscribe again and again. This is just a funny joke. And then you can also add more options if you want more things to happen after the subscription. For example, you can add a teaser, and this is going to be shown like this to the bottom of your page, and is going to be a call to action always visible on your website to trigger the pop-up. So this is a very powerful solution if you want to use it. And you can change the text here, you can change the style. For example, we can make it rounded. We can also maybe increase a little bit the padding, yes, and make it something more like this. Maybe everywhere, 5, maybe something more to the left and right. All right, and then we will be able also to place it differently in the page. You see, now it's there, but you can also place it there. Whatever you prefer to place this element here, you can make it appear like this. All right, let's use it so that we can see how this is going to work. And then we can also add more steps if you need to do so. For example, you can collect the email in the first step and the phone number in the second one. Let me show you how this is going to work. You can use the step number 2 to collect the phone you see here. And you can also make the form less crowded like this. So this legal consent, the first one is going to be just to collect emails, and the second consent just to collect SMS, yes, email marketing, SMS marketing. And of course, you can also change here the title and all the other elements. So this is going to be the first step. This one is the second one. Then we have the success step. Then we have the already subscribed step. And then we have the teaser that is going to be always visible to trigger the pop-up on the page. Now, in my case, since I do not want this pop-up to be triggered as a teaser, I'm just going to get rid of this and delete it. All right. And let's explore together here what will happen when someone subscribes and when and where to display this pop-up. Let's go and do it. The first step here is the audience management. Here you can change whatever you want regarding tags and verification. Basically, you can assign a specific tag to all the subscribers that will subscribe to this specific pop-up. In my case, I have created a tag called Chef Pop-up. You can create new tags just by simply going here and typing your tag and then press enter. Very easy. Then you can enable double opt-in. If you want an extra layer of verification here, you need to set this up into a different tab. And if you want, you can also enable reCAPTCHA. And also this one needs to be set up separately. In my case, I will keep it simple, go back here, and I can decide a specific date range where I want to show this pop-up on the website. This is very interesting if you're running a specific promotion like Black Friday or any other time-based promotion on your website. In this case, I will keep it always visible. Then you can change the display settings. This is very important. Let me show you what happens here. You can change the display settings to be based on page visits. For example, if you want to display this pop-up only after a visitor has started browsing your website and has seen at least 5 pages, you can select it like this. If you want, you can also decide to show this pop-up only after a specific amount of time, let's say 20 seconds on the website. And of course, you can keep some of these also together, like multiple conditions together. And if you want, you can also decide to choose this as a scroll depth. For example, if a user scrolls up to 50% of a page, then the pop-up will be visible. And you can also enable exit intent. Basically, when a visitor tries to click on the X icon to get rid of your page, and then you show the pop-up and say, no, wait a minute, you have a discount here if you subscribe. So if you enable all those different settings together, this is going to be pretty difficult to manage, but it can work, of course. I would suggest you to choose at least maybe just 2 of them. Let's say the exit intent and the time on page. So this is going to work fine. For example, if the user stays more than 20 seconds, or let's say just for the testing for 10 seconds, or if the user try to exit the page, yes, just leaving the page. Okay, you can also enable custom triggers if you want to do so. And let's go back to page rules in my case, and let's go back now to display. Great. We have also some advanced targeting here. So for example, you can go to visitor targeting options, which is very powerful. Here you can choose if you want to show this pop-up to all the visitors of your website, or if you want to avoid to show this pop-up to visitors that are already subscribed to your mailing list, or on the contrary, if you want to show it only to visitors that are inside your mailing list already. So this can work in an interesting way if you are going to reward maybe just your subscribers with some special discounts. And this is going to work if you have created some segments inside Omnisend and you want to show this pop-up only to those specific segments or to exclude those specific segments. In my case, I will keep it to all visitors. And you can change also the page targeting options. For example, you can change the page URL where you want this pop-up to appear. If you want it to appear only on specific pages, you can write inside here the URL of those pages. Or if you want, you can also exclude some pages based on some specific URLs. For example, you do not want to show this pop-up on the checkout page or on some sensitive pages that you want to avoid. All right, you can change also the source targeting here. For example, show this pop-up or hide this pop-up if the user is a direct visitor of your website, if it comes from some campaigns sent from Omnisend, if it comes from organic search, Google Ads, Facebook, or Instagram. And then you can also go and use UTM parameters to get even more specific in the way that you want to show or hide this content. And in my case, I will keep it simple, of course, because we're just going to illustrate a simple example. The visibility can be all devices, mobile or desktop, you can change. I will keep it on all devices. And of course, here you can have a preview on how this form is going to look also on mobile. And then you can change the frequency. For example, what happens after the visitor has closed the form if it doesn't subscribe, for example. If you want to limit the form appearance, you can change it to whatever you want here, as you can see. And in this case, for example, if a user decides to close the form, it will see it again the day after, or maybe 10 days after, if he visits again the website, of course. Okay, so basically now we saw everything regarding the setup here. You also have an A/B testing engine here, which is pretty powerful, where you can test 2 variations of the same form, of the same pop-up, maybe changing some images, changing some titles, changing also the steps if you want, and you see in this way which one will perform the best on your website. Now we are ready to publish our form. In your case, you will see up here Enable Form. And when you click on Enable Form, you will be able to see if the form has some errors or if it is ready to be published. If it is ready to be published, it will be published on the website and you will be able to test it out immediately. Now we are ready to test it out on our website. Let's try to close the website and voila, our pop-up appears because we have enabled the exit intent. We're going to see that the second display trigger that we have enabled in our case is the number of seconds on a page. Now I think it was about 10 seconds and in and there it is, 10 seconds and the pop-up has appeared. Perfect. So if you want to change anything about your form, you just go to Forms, you click on your form. Of course, you can rename it if you want, and you can change the behavior, the theme settings, and whatever you change here, it will take effect on your website immediately, instantaneously. It's very, very well done. And let's try to see if the form works well. We enter our email. I really like this animation here. All right. I need to select this checkbox here to subscribe. And here I can insert my phone number. Let's insert a fake one just to test it out. And I click on Submit. And you're all signed up. Beautiful. You'll start to receive discounts by email and phone. Great. Let's go and see what happens in the Omnisend dashboard now. We go to Audience, Contacts, and look here, I have all my data, my name, my email, my phone number, of course, is a fake one. I'm subscribed to email, I'm subscribed to SMS, and everything is set up perfectly. And if I click on my user that's subscribed, I have all its profile with all the different data. Consent details, we also have the consent date, source, and consent status, and we have all the different data about the user. And as you can see here, we also have the tag Chef Popup that we set up in the audience management of our pop-up. Great. And you see all the statistics. You will check the views here, the submission rate. If you want, you also have a view report with all the specific reports of this form, the contact activity. In my case here, I have subscribed, and I can see an overview of the performance of my pop-up. When you use the embed form, you will be able to create something like this. And so to showcase all your forms, whatever you want on your website into a specific section or in the footer or whatever you want. Let's go and see how you can do it. We go on Omnisend, we click on Forms, and now we click on Create Form. And we can also select here to filter between type embedded. So now here we can select the starting point that we like. This one, it's okay for me. I will use this template and we can style it. So we can easily change the theme settings here, the form layout. In this case, it should stay on embed. We can change here the form width. I will keep it like this because I like it. All right. The form styles. And when we finish, we can go to the audience management where we can add tags or verification settings. In my case, I will use a simple tag, embedded form, and I will create this one. And then I will go and edit all the steps. The first one is the form, then we have the success message. I'm going to change here also the styles. I want to assign a specific background color to the layout. So I select the layout here and I assign a specific background color. Let's say this one, or let's play with this one. All right. And I will also change here to make visible everything. So I will make it like this. Perfect. I'll make it center. And then when someone is already subscribed, I can change the message that will appear. As always, when you go back to the form, you can also insert some other stuff here, images or whatever you want. You can even create some complex layouts, structures, and we can enable the form now. All right. We see that we have a code now that we can copy. So we copy it and we need to place it into our website. Now in my website, I'm using Elementor. So I just need to edit this website with Elementor and I will insert a simple HTML element where I want to show the form. For example, if I want, I can create here a new container, and in this container, I will place an HTML element. And inside here, I will paste the code. Then I will just make sure to insert some padding, and then I will publish. Let's have a preview of our page now. And we see that this beautiful form is already present into our website, and it works fine. I try to enter my email here. I will enter the email that I just used before, so I'm already subscribed, and I should see the message, "You are already subscribed." Great. And if I enter a new email, I subscribe and I see you're all signed up. Great. And when I go to my Omnisend dashboard, all right, I see that here I have all my forms, my active forms that are in status enabled, and I see all the number of views, submission rate, and so on. And when I go to my audience, I will see in my contacts, all the contacts that are signing up through my forms. As you can see here, I have no name. If I want to, I can also insert in this form the name field. I just go inside here. I drag and drop the input field here, and this one is going to be the first name. I do not want to add the label, and I want to make this required. Update live form, and on my website, when I reload the page, I will see that now I also have the name field. Easy as that. The same happens if you want to change the color of the background, the fonts, or the buttons. You just go inside here, you open up the editor, and you change whatever you want here. And all the changes will take effect on the live form on your website. Now let's go and see what happens when you want to integrate Elementor form, like in this case, with Omnisend. So basically here in this Elementor form, when someone subscribes, I want it to be saved into my audience contacts in Omnisend. In order to do so, you're going to need an app to connect the Elementor form with Omnisend. There are many different apps that do so, but the one that we're going to see now, it's called Bit Integrations. It is free and it works like a charm. So you simply type here Bit Integrations, and then you're going to see the app here ready to be installed. All right, we can activate this app now, and we can see that now we have this Bit Integrations right here. All right, we click on all integrations. We can skip this message here, and we can create our first integration. Let's go and do it. We will start by selecting Elementor, you see, it is already here. But if you do not see it immediately, you just type inside here, Elementor, and you will find it here. Okay, so this is going to be our trigger. We're going to select here form submission. We're going to fetch. Then we're going to submit a form while the fetching is active. Let's go and do it. On my homepage, here is the form that I want to connect. So I just submitted. I click on send. And when I go back to my integrations, I see that the form has been fetched. And there is the form ID, form post ID, edit post ID, name Pascal, email info@myemail.com. Right. So I can map all the fields here. The first fields are just text fields. Okay. And then I have my name and email field. So the email field is being recognized correctly. Let's set an action now. And the action is going to be Omnisend. All right. There we are, Omnisend. In this case, you see that we can give this integration a name. Then we can also create our API token and paste it inside here. To get an API token, please visit Omnisend API token. If we click on the link here, we see that we can easily go here and create a new API key. If you have saved and stored your previous API key, as I told you in the previous steps, you can use the same one. Or if you prefer, you can create a new one right here. Let's create a new one. We will call this API key Elementor Form Integration. You can click on Create Key. And then here you can copy your API key. Be sure to save it and store it somewhere secure that you can re-access if you need to do so. And then we go back here and we copy and paste our key. Let's authorize now. And now we can map all the fields, starting from the channels. In my case, I want the users to subscribe to email, in this case. If you want them to subscribe also to SMS, you can do it like this. In my case, just email. The status is going to be subscribed. And the field map is going to be this one. I'm going to map the email field with email. Then I'm going to add a new field here. And this one is going to be the name field. And here I'm going to map it with the first name. All right. If you are collecting more fields, as you can see, you can map them all here in this easy way. You can also add a custom tag. And in my case, I will select, for example, Elementor form. All right. I will click on OK. And you can even use conditional logic to set up advanced automations. In my case, I will click on Next now and finish and save. Great. So here is my connection. Elementor form is connected now to Omnisend opt-in, and the status is active. Let's go and test it out. I'll go on my homepage. I scroll down here. I use another name, Jane. All right. Then I send. The form has been submitted. And let's go in Omnisend now and check out if everything has worked correctly. Audience, contacts, and Jane is there. Great. Subscribed. Beautiful. And this is Jane profile. Great. Now let's use the power of Omnisend to set up an automation campaign to welcome our new leads. So let's head to automation now and let's click on Explore Templates. All right. Here you see we have different workflows. Welcome email and SMS, birthday email, birthday SMS, browse abandonment, and if you want, you can create one from scratch. In my case, I will create it from scratch, so I will show you the step-by-step process that we can use to do it, and we should define here how a person enters this workflow. In my case, for example, let's say that I want to welcome all the users that will subscribe to my Elementor form here. That is connected, of course, with Omnisend. And since I'm using here a specific tag in my integration here, which is the Elementor form tag, I will use this as a trigger. As my main trigger here, I will use subscribed to marketing. All right. As you can see here, we can choose many different triggers. In my case, I will just use this one. Then, if you want, you can also add some trigger filters. In my case, I do not need them. And the thing that I will use here is the audience filter. This is very powerful. I can add an audience filter here, and I will select this filter as a tag. In fact, I want to send this welcome series only to users that will subscribe to this form, which are being tagged the Elementor form. Let's go here. The tag in my case is Elementor form. Save. So this is going to be the trigger. When a user subscribes to the marketing and has the tag Elementor form, they will receive the next steps. And in my case, the next steps, I'm going to add it right now. And let's go and add all the next steps. We can choose to add an email, an SMS, a push notification, a delay, and so on. In this case, we will use a simple delay. So we will wait for a specific amount of time. In this case, since I'm making a test, I do not want to wait. I just want to send this email immediately. But when you are setting up this, maybe you want to wait a few hours before sending the welcome email or a few minutes. All right, in my case, I will send this immediately. All right. And you can change also the filter if you want to avoid sending Sunday or Saturday, for example. In my case, I will keep it like this. Great. Then I will go here and drag and drop my email. All right. Perfect. So here I can add the subject line. And here I can also add variables like, for example, the username, first name, enter default text. If the user has not first name, I will write my friend. And then I will insert. Great. Then I can also use a pre-header, open the email and see the gift. Sender's name is going to be my name. Sender's email address now is using shared Omnisend email. And then here I can decide to receive replies to a different email address if I want. For example, I can use my email connected to my account. The language and the settings here. And in my case, I will go and edit the content of the email. I will save here. Great. And here I will be able to insert all the content of my email. But before doing so, you see that you have the logo here, you have some colors, background, buttons, and you can set up all this using global settings. Let's go and see where you find them. We'll leave this automation here open, and we open Omnisend dashboard into another tab. All right. And we see that we have the store settings page here. Here we can go on brand assets, and we can basically set up everything about our brand into our emails, logos, fonts, colors, and so on. Let's go and manage brands assets. You see, it's very easy to set up everything. If you want, you can even upload a font if you prefer to use it. Keep in mind that this is an advanced feature, so if you want to do it, you have to test it well to see how fonts will behave throughout your emails. If you want, you can also add your social media links here. Okay, save brand assets. Great. Let's go back to our automation. I open up again here my email content, and I will see that all my elements are now in place, you see. I have my logo, and all my colors will be already applied automatically. Now I can insert here some content. I can click on Add Elements, and I will use a simple text. I will use AI. I have my prompt here, and I press Enter. Okay, welcome to our culinary heaven. In my example is a personal chef website. Okay, so let's skip this one. Okay, as you can see, in a few clicks, I have my welcome text here. I can change this, and I will also change the size here to be a little bit bigger. You can then add images, call to actions, and so on. You can add a menu here, for example, to link to some pages of your website. And now we are ready to finish editing, and we can have a quick preview of our email just by sending a test. We select the email here, we scroll down until we find send test email, and we can just send a test email. Let's do it. Here is my email, works very well. We have my subject here, perfect. Then I have here my details, great. And when I scroll down, I see all the content, beautiful. I have my links here, great. And my footer here, great. So it's working fine. Let's go back here. And if you want to send more than one email, you just need to insert a delay here. For example, the next email will be the next day. You just wait 1 day, and the second email will be sent the next day, like this. All right. Then you can create another subject line, a pre-header, then you create the content of the email as we just did together. So in this way, you can create a welcome email series. Let's go and start the workflow now. Okay. And in my case, I will go back to the dashboard. And when I click on automation now, I will be able to see it right here. You see, custom workflow. First email is sent immediately after the customer, subscribe to marketing, and has the tag Elementor form. Let's go and test it out. Of course, if you want, you can also rename your workflow here. We'll just give it another name here. Update, publish changes. Here, each time you publish changes, you can choose what happens to the subscribers that are already in the flow. All right. Perfect. Now I'm ready to test it out. I'll go on my website. I subscribe now. My name is going to be James. All right, I'm going to send and subscribe. Now I will reload the page here. Now I will update here and I will see that there is already one email sent because yes, James just subscribed. Let's go and check out our emails. And now James received the email. Welcome to a super site, James. Great. And inside here, I see all the content of my email. Awesome. And if the user wants to unsubscribe or edit preferences, there are also the links automatically created for you in the footer. And the user can click here and confirm if they want to unsubscribe or if they want to edit their preferences, like this. And when I go into my contacts, I see that there is James here, subscribed, great. I see all the different actions that this specific contact made. In my case, just opted into the channel email and was sent a message, which is the email automation welcome Elementor form subscribers. Then if I go to my automation, I can click on the automation. I can see the statistics and I can see how many contacts entered the automation and how many completed the automation and how many are currently in or exited the automation. Then if you want to have more statistics, you have them here. You have the open rate, click rate, and revenue. Sometimes it doesn't update immediately, so you need to click here to force the updating. But sometimes it takes up some time to show all the data here. If you want, you have the reports, automation, and you have many other data here connected to your automations. You can see the sales that are connected to your automations. You can see the engagement, how many messages have been sent, what is the open rate, the click rate, and the placed order rate. And then you can also check the deliverability of your emails, which is very important. And here you can check all your workflow's performance. Great. Now, if you're using WooCommerce, let's see how you can connect your store to Omnisend. It is pretty easy. So this is my WooCommerce store. I go to my dashboard and I go and install my Omnisend plugin. So I go to plugins, add new plugin, and I will type inside here Omnisend. All right. I will see that there are two plugins now. The first one is going to be the one that we need. Email marketing for WooCommerce by Omnisend. Awesome. If you're using Shortcut or other plugins, you need to install the first one, this one, and then you need to install the add-ons. In fact, if you go here in the simple plugin and you go and click on add-ons, you will see that down here when you scroll, you will have many different add-ons, including the Shortcut one. But if you're using WooCommerce, this is the dedicated plugin and it is very powerful. We'll go now and install the plugin and click on activate. All right. And of course, be careful to install the WooCommerce one. And then we will need to connect our store to Omnisend. Let's click on the button here. Now you need to create a new account if you do not have one already. But since we created one together at the beginning of the video, you should have your account ready. And you can click on connect your account. You can now connect it this way. As you can see, it says Omnisend app would like to connect to your store. This will give Omnisend app read-write access, which will allow it to create webhooks, view and manage coupons, customers, orders, and products. And here I can change also my account if I want to change the account that I am connecting. Here I can click on approve and I can connect my website. Importing brand assets. Let's wait a few seconds and here we are. Set your brand assets and we'll apply them to your emails and forms. This is pretty important because you can insert your logo, your colors and fonts and so on. Let's do it. Okay, now I have imported everything. I've changed my colors. If you want, you can also change fonts and you can even upload new fonts if you desire to do so. And you can add your social links. And of course, you can always come back here later if you want to do so. Let's save our brand assets. All right. And we can just click here on the X icon. Perfect. Now we are connected with our e-commerce. And as you can see here, when you go back to your website, you will see that now when you click on Omnisend for WooCommerce, you will have a general tab, a synchronization tab, and a logs tab. And it will say that you are connected to Omnisend. Here you can choose if you want to collect email subscribers at checkout. And this is very important because if you enable this functionality, you will be able to collect subscriptions when user will be filling the checkout form. Let me show you what happens here. I'm at the checkout now, and I see that when I scroll down, I will have this checkbox, email me with news and offers, optional. This is very important because it will allow us to subscribe all the users inside Omnisend and then send them specific campaigns based also on the products that they have purchased. You can of course change the sentence here if you want to make it more appealing. You can decide to pre-select the opt-in chatbox at checkout page, and you can also decide to add a separate checkbox to collect the opt-in regarding SMS. Then you can save this consent text, and when you reload the checkout page, you will see that now you will have two checkboxes. You see, the one to collect email consent and the one to collect SMS consent. Let's go back to our account here. We see that we can also assign a specific tag to all the customers that will be subscribed using WooCommerce checkout. For example, here I will save this tag, and this tag will be applied to all my customers that are subscribing through the checkout. And then I can go and click on synchronization, and I will be able here to synchronize all my contacts, orders, products, and categories, so that I will be able to see all this data right inside Omnisend. As you can see here, there are some pending configurations, and it is still syncing. So we can come back here later to see if everything is okay. In the logs part, you will see a log of all the different actions that are occurring on your account and that are occurring between Omnisend and your website. As you can see now, it is synchronizing everything in the background, and in a few seconds it will be finished. Now that I am connected with WooCommerce, when I'm inside Omnisend, I will be able to create campaigns and automations using advanced features provided by Omnisend. If you go and upgrade your plan, like I showed you in the previous steps, you will also be able to use advanced features dedicated to WooCommerce. Now let's go and click on automation, and let's see how you can apply an abandoned cart workflow when you are connected to WooCommerce. Basically, we will be able to click on Explore Templates and set up an abandoned checkout email sequence to recover all the users that have abandoned our checkout. This is very powerful. Let's click on Customize Workflow. The trigger is Started Checkout. The trigger filter here is start the workflow after started checkout wasn't updated for 1 hour. If you want to test it out, you just can start with minutes so that you will be able to test this sequence when you abandon a checkout for just 1 minute. Then we also can have some audience filters, some exit conditions. For example, here, the condition to exit this workflow is the fact that the user has placed an order. So basically, if the user placed an order, you won't receive all the other emails, of course. We can also decide in the frequency setting to skip contacts who have already been in this automation. In the last 1 day, for example. Or you can change in the last 1 week, like this, and then you can save. We can also skip contacts that are already currently inside the automation or have recently completed all other automations. This is also a good option sometimes. Okay, now we can see that we have no delay. So basically, after 1 minute, when the checkout is abandoned, there's going to be this first mail sending out with this specific object and with this specific pre-header. This is the sender name. We have the sender email address, and we can receive replies to a different email address if you want to do so. And this is the content of the email. You can edit the content and you can send it for test. Let's send a test email and see how this is going to look. Here is the test email, and as you can see here, I can have a simple email that will remind me to complete my order on the website. And when I click on Edit Content and I save my workflow, I will see that inside the email, there's going to be a module dedicated exclusively to abandoned checkout. In fact, if I click on this module here, I will see that selected product details will be filled in automatically. And here, when I scroll down, I will have the abandoned product options. In this case, I can decide, for example, to exclude specific products to show up here. You can then change all the design and content just by going inside here, choosing, for example, to exclude the price, or exclude the button, or exclude the description, for example, and so on. So basically here, we're going to see all the products that the user has added to their cart, and it's going to be a very strong input to incentivize the user to come back to the checkout and complete it. And of course, here in this page, you can modify everything just by hovering and changing the text. Let's finish editing. And if you scroll down here, you see that you have a delay. After 11 hours, there will be the second email here. And after 12 hours, there will be a third email. In this case, in the third email, there's going to be also a coupon. And if you open up this email and you edit content, you will see that you need to integrate inside here a discount code, of course. So for example, you can create a coupon that's going to be something like this. And then you can simply create it also in WooCommerce to have the same and to apply in this way a 15% discount to your abandoned cart. Let's finish editing now and let's go and test out this workflow. We're going to start it now. Okay. And we will see that this new automation, or we can click here on the logo, and we will see that this new automation is now visible in the automation. Abandoned checkout enabled. First email is sent 1 minute after customer starts their checkout. Let's go and test it out. I will open up my e-commerce into an incognito window. I will add some products to my shop page. All right, to my shop cart. I will also unlock free shipping. By the way, if you want to learn how to create this kind of widget, I have a dedicated tutorial and I will link it to you in the description box below. And I also have a full tutorial on how to create this exact beautiful e-commerce website step by step using WooCommerce and Elementor Pro. It is a beautiful tutorial that you can follow to build confidently a great e-commerce website for your business or for your clients. And it is really step by step, no step skipped. Look at this beautiful e-commerce website. Want to learn how to create it? Head to the link in the description box below. Now let's continue with our example. We go to the checkout and we start filling all the data here. All right. And let's say that now I'm just saying, I don't know, I need to think about it. I'm not going to complete this checkout. In the meantime, if you go in automation in your Omnisend backend and you reload here the data, you will see that there's going to be an email sent after 1 minute. And it is exactly that email connected to the first abandoned checkout. Let's go and see if we received it. And there it is. Items in your cart are selling out fast. And here is what happened. We've noticed you left some items in your cart. And these are all the items that I had in my cart. It is working fine, you see. It is pulling up automatically all my products in the email that is going to be sent to my customers that have abandoned their checkout. And if I click here on complete your order, I can easily go and recover my cart and see all the elements that I have added to my cart here. And I can go on and proceed to the checkout and finalize my purchase. In the backend, you will see all your statistics right here, the open rate, click rate, and revenue. I noticed that these elements here just need a few seconds in order to be updated. You see that now I have our click rate here because just one of those mails have been opened and clicked and is working fine. And if you want, you can also see all the reports just by going into the report settings, automation. And here you will see all the sales, all the engagement, all the deliverability, and everything regarding your workflow performance. And you can even check your workflow performance by clicking here, and you will see all the data just about your abandoned checkout automation. Beautiful, right? When you go on audience and contacts, you can see also all the abandoned carts. You will see the revenue, the number of orders for each user, and then you will see also in the contact activity all the different actions and interactions that the user did with your website and with your email marketing campaigns. Like in this case, clicked on a message, email automation, abandoned checkout, and then view the cart page. So you just saw a powerful tutorial on how to set up Omnisend connected to WordPress and to your WooCommerce store to generate leads and recover abandoned carts. Of course, Omnisend has many more features. So if you want some of these features covered in my next tutorials, just comment more Omnisend tutorials in the comment section below. If I achieve at least 50 comments and 100 likes on this video, I will definitely consider making new tutorials about this topic. Now I will leave you here my video where I explain to you how to create an e-commerce website using WooCommerce and Elementor Pro. Many users have already created great e-commerce websites following this tutorial, so make sure to check it out if it is something you want to do for your business or for your clients. I wish you all the best with your WordPress projects and hope to see you in my next video. Ciao, ciao!